Hey besties, I went to the Sydney Destash market and it was absolute chaos. Crowds, heat, and a pattern hunt like no other. Let me take you through the wildest crafting market experience I've ever had. And wait till you see the patterns that I fought for. So I went to the Destash market with my friend, Passive Royal. We arrived about an hour after it had opened. It was about 11 o'clock by the time that we arrived, and once we got there, we were like, oh my gosh, this line is long. When we stood in line, I could tell that it was gonna be a battle for the best finds. For a Sunday, middle of the morning/afternoon, I didn't think it was gonna be this busy. The temperature was 30 degrees and it was like high humidity, so I thought that might deter a lot of people, but it didn't. So the market was at Petersham Town Hall, which is quite a small venue, but it was definitely a lot bigger of a venue than they had last year, which was at, I think, the Annandale Community Centre. I heard that the Annandale Hall was quite busy as well last year, so I think that's why they decided to go to Petersham this year, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for everybody. I'm not sure if they really realised how much of a turnout they were gonna have because, whew, there was a lot of people. I will say this though, the location was really easy to get to. I just took the train and then it was like a really short walk to get to Petersham Town Hall. One thing that I didn't like was when we arrived, the line was coming out of both sides of Petersham Town Hall. So one side had one line and the other side had a separate line. I'm not really sure why that was, but I did feel like it kind of slowed down the process of going in. I think it would have been better if there was just one line. Maybe it was due to traffic and how long the line had gotten. Because let me tell you, it was quite long. So we got there at 11, we didn't go in until about, 11:25. And the market had a $2 entry fee, which I think was very fair. This was also a cash market and they had strongly advised beforehand to make sure that you bring cash because not all vendors would have like a square or any sort of card facilities. The venue also didn't have any air conditioning, so it was just like hot, humid, crowded, and very chaotic. And it being like a 30-degree day with high humidity, I think everyone was kind of feeling it and a bit on edge. These ladies did not come to play, I can tell you that. Once we got in there, it was chaos. So once we got to the front of the line, we paid our $2 and walked into the room. Immediately going from like bright outside, going into the sort of lobby area where there was a few vendors set up on either side was super dark. I saw some people using their phone lights to see what some vendors had displayed. And overall, it was just very squished in there. Everyone was elbow to elbow, basically. The way that it was set up as well was you go into the main foyer area and then there was some separate rooms on either side of the foyer that had vendors in it. After the main foyer, there's like an atrium that also had vendors in it, sort of all along the sides, and then like an extra room off that as well. Then after that, you would walk into the town hall space, which was massive and just full of people. There was vendors all through there. And then again, towards the left, there was more rooms with more vendors. I'm not sure if there was really a rhyme or reason to how people were placed in the town hall, but it did seem to work pretty well. After we'd walked in and gone into a random little room, my friend and I spotted this lady who had like an unassuming box full of patterns, but besties, I have to say, she had the best selection out of everybody there. I was amazed at some of the stuff that she had. My friend and I cleaned up. We got some of the best patterns. I'll show you some of those in my haul. I wish that I got the vendor's name and like maybe some details from her because she had a great selection of stuff. My friend and I went through her entire box of unassuming patterns and we found so many gems. Then we thought maybe we'll do a lap of the whole market and come back if we don't find anything else. So that's what we did. We purchased some of our patterns and then off we went for a walk. I say walk, but it was more like we sort of shuffled along with everybody else. So out the door we went into the next room. We went through somebody else's vintage patterns, but they weren't as good. They just weren't like hitting the same high that the first ones did. They were also priced very differently. Like the next box of patterns that we went to, they were about $5 each, whereas the first lady was about $3 to $2, and they were amazingly priced and the quality was really good. So we rummaged through some more pattern boxes, didn't really find anything that we liked. Other things that I saw there was yarn. There was, if you love your big squishy blanket yarn, there was plenty of it. There was also lots of fine thread, already pre-done doilies. You could pretty much find anything at this market. I saw bra kits. There was a lot in the way of sewing and quilting. So if you wanted like quilting kits or quilting fabric, there was plenty of it, as well as like little sewing kits to make accessories. There was plenty of those around as well. There was a lot of knitting pattern selection, way more than Crochet, which I did expect. So my friend and I made it into the large, chaotic sort of town hall area. They had a live musician playing music, which was honestly wonderful. And then it was just like elbow to elbow walking through this little market. I really wanted to get some buttons because I'm making this really cute blue vintage jumper. So I thought I could find some buttons to like sort of match that vibe and like time period. Once I got to the button stall though, it was a fight, let me tell you. As soon as I was reaching for some buttons, there would be somebody else reaching in to grab them. And I was honestly blown away by how competitive people were over buttons. I honestly couldn't believe it. Remember, this little girl was really overwhelmed and she was trying to select some buttons. So I let her go before me to select some buttons, but I was like, hopefully she doesn't pick the ones that I just saw, which were these really cute blue ones. And she didn't, which was great because then I picked them up and then I knew exactly what I wanted, purchased my buttons, and I was out of there. But holy wow. People did not come to play. They were swooping in and grabbing things in front of other people, or if you just put it down for a second to grab something out of your bag, they were onto it. It was savage. Once we sort of like took in the whole market, we decided to go back to the first lady who had the best patterns. Went back to her and purchased some more. Her selection was unmatched. And I think some other people had clued in as well because they were sort of hovering around waiting to get into the box after us, but my friend and I absolutely cleared this lady out of her top patterns. So after battling the crowd, this is what I had managed to grab. This is some fabric that I've gotten for my mum. She's really into sewing at the moment. She really likes vintage style motifs, so I thought this would be perfect for her. These are the buttons in question that I fought this lady for. I did have them first though. Super cute buttons. This is an embroidery transfer. It's pretty delicate, so I'm not going to manhandle it too much. But I really liked the vibe. What really drew me to this was the cactus down the bottom, the little sombrero, and the palm tree I thought were like really cute and perfect, and just all the plants that they had. Beautiful. And of course the main motif in the middle there. So I picked it up for myself. I've been looking for some transfers for a while now. I really wish the lady had a shop that I could go to because she had a lot of them. And I would have picked up some more. This is one of the standout items that I got, which was the Baby Crochet First 3 Months pattern book. I really like it. It just has a lot of things that I normally make. Like, I would make this cute matinee coat. I thought this hooded coat was also very cute. Oh my god, this carrying cape was amazing. I was like, I need to make one of these. Also, I really like this motif. This kind of reminds me of another vintage pattern that I saw that uses the same type of motif. But this is like the baby version, and the one that I saw was for an adult. So I wonder how similar they are. I might check that out. That baby is definitely a full adult now, probably middle-aged, hey? I absolutely loved this batwing shaped jumper, and I was looking for something a bit different, and I think this may be it for me. I would love to make this in a purple color yarn. I also love the makeup this lady has. Amazing. And hairdo. That's another thing I really like about vintage patterns. The photography is so good. Okay, she looks a little pained, but that's okay. This is the knit version. This is the crochet version. I think the crochet version eats. I also picked up a how to knit and crochet. Nothing really to write home about with these ones. I actually have quite a few of these, not this specific one, but just in general, a knit and crochet how-to book. They're really good if you're just getting started and you have them, and they usually have some interesting techniques. And they will help you if you're trying to understand how some of the vintage patterns are put together. Like, they will have some of the knowledge written into them. Like, this one has a section of how to make up accessories. Again, another cute little matinee jumper in there. These ladies slay. These ladies absolutely slay. I love this one. I really like the cream colored top. And this pink one is like a little bit too pink for me, but man, they look like they're having a great time. Another standout pattern that I saw was this cute bolero. I might make this as well. It's on my to make list. It's so cute. This is book 943. So exciting. If you've made any of these patterns, let me know. I also got this simple crochet book as well, and I have to say, I bought this because the ladies' hairstyles are fabulous. Amazing, so cute. I love how confident they are. This must be from what, the 80s, 70s, 80s? Some of them don't say, but like, they look so happy. I think they look way happier in the crochet garments than the knit ones, but you know. Also, you just don't see like fine crochet like this anymore. I didn't realize when I picked this one up that it is mostly knit garments. And they're bed capes. So it's good night and good morning. Bed jackets, very cute. Maybe I will start knitting in earnest. Whoops, this one's coming apart a little bit, so I'm not going to show you the inside, but maybe this will make me decide to start knitting in earnest. And this is my last pattern. Love this. I love this. I love this dress. This dress is amazing. I'm not really too fussed on these tops. They're just not really my thing, but they're cute anyway. This dress though is amazing. I love it. Okay, this styling I kind of understand. I kind of understand the appeal of this top with this styling. Maybe just like the hot pink and the blue isn't really my thing. I don't know. And here's the dress. I really like it. I think it'd be a really fun pattern to complete. All the patterns that I got came from one person, and then buttons from a different shop, and the fabric was also from another one. Here are some of my tips. If you get overwhelmed by crowds, make sure that you bring your earplugs. It's best to leave anyone who's not there for just buying things probably at home. Leave your kids and your other half at home if you can, because it is a very chaotic and squished in space. Anyone who was not there for the crafts was probably having a bad time. And I would say in the afternoon it is probably a little less busy. So maybe picking a better time to go rather than first thing in the morning. Although by doing that, you do run the risk of not getting possibly the best stuff, but I'm sure you'd still be able to find some gems. There was a lot of stuff there. Also make sure you bring your cash because ATM facilities were very limited. I hope next year they pick a bigger venue because it's obviously a very popular event and I'd love to see it continue. Have you been to a chaotic market like this? Would you fight for patterns? Let me know in the comments below. If you love crochet and a bit of chaos, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in my next video. And if you want to see more of me, check out this video here.